All right, let's dive into Tsim Sha Tsui. We're talking about Hong Kong here, and not just as a place to visit, but as a place to really, live in for a bit.
Exactly.
And we're looking specifically at service departments today,
Perfect.
which I think is going to be really interesting because it's kind of that sweet spot between like a hotel and an Airbnb, right?
Yeah, it is.
So you get a little more space, a little more like a feeling of home,
Right.
but you still get that kind of consistency and service that you would from a hotel.
Right. You're not, stuck with someone's dirty dishes when you arrive or wondering if it's actually going to look like the photos.
Right. I've had that happen.
Yeah.
Not fun.
No, the fun.
And this guide we're looking at, it actually says that service departments in Tsim Sha Tsui are on average like 35% larger than a standard hotel room.
Yeah. Think about how much extra space you have.
Especially if you're staying for, a week or two or even longer.
That's a big difference.
Huge difference. And, when I was thinking about Tsim Sha Tsui, I was kind of picturing it as that heart of Hong Kong,
It is. It's where the Kowloon Peninsula meets Victoria Harbor.
You've got those incredible views.
Oh, but the views are stunning.
And it's easy to get around to the rest of the city, too.
Yeah, you've got the MTR right there. That's their subway system.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Star Ferry. It's iconic.
Oh, yeah. I've got to take the Star Ferry.
You have to.
But, okay, back to the apartments themselves. This guide mentions some really cool features.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Some of them are pet-friendly.
Oh, that's great for people traveling with their furry friends.
Yeah. No need to leave them behind.
Exactly.
And there are also some with eco-conscious features, which I thought was really cool.
Very cool.
But what really caught my eye was the description of Tsim Sha Tsui like as a destination.
Right. It's not just about the apartment itself. It's about the whole experience.
Exactly. So imagine, right?
Okay. I'm imagining.
You start your day with dim sum at a local cha-chan.
Oh, I love those. Those are like the Hong Kong version of a diner, right?
Yeah, exactly. Super casual, delicious food.
I'm in.
Then maybe you hit up some designer boutiques.
Okay, I can do that.
And then you finish the day with cocktails at a rooftop bar overlooking the skyline.
Oh, wow. Sign me up.
And it's all right there in Tsim Sha Tsui.
Incredible.
I mean, just reading this guide has got me wanting to book a flight right now.
I know. Me too. It sounds amazing.
So tell me, what's grabbing your attention the most about all this? What stands out to you?
Honestly, it's the mix of old and new that's really intriguing me.
Yeah, I see that.
Like, one minute you could be exploring a historic landmark, and the next minute you're in a cutting-edge art gallery.
It's like this collision of cultures, which I find super fascinating.
Exactly. And then there's the food scene. Oh, my gosh.
Don't even get me started on the food.
Street food stalls next to Michelin-starred restaurants. It's like a foodie's paradise.
Okay, so we're both on board with the Tsim Sha Tsui experience, but let's get back to these service departments.
Okay.
This guide highlights a few standout options, and they all seem to cater to different types of travelers.
I like that.
So, for example, if you're all about luxury and jaw-dropping views, there's K11 Artists.
K11 Artists. Okay.
It's located right on Victoria Dockside, so you can practically roll out of bed and into the harbor.
Wow. That sounds incredible.
Right.
But, for me, one of the biggest selling points of service departments is that consistency factor.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because, I've had some Airbnb experiences
I was going to say, tell me about it. I once booked an Airbnb that looked nothing like the photos online.
It's the worst. So knowing that you're getting what you see with a service department, especially in a place like Hong Kong where you might not be familiar with the neighborhoods, that's got to be a huge relief.
Huge relief. And speaking of convenience, this guide also mentions gateway apartments, which are right in the heart of Tsim Sha Tsui.
Oh, nice. So you're right in the thick of it all.
Exactly. Markets, shops, restaurants, everything is just a stone's throw away.
Perfect for those who want to be in the center of the action.
Exactly. And then, you mentioned traveling with family earlier.
Right.
Well, this guide specifically recommends Rosewood Residence as being super family friendly.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. What makes it so family friendly?
Well, they've got dedicated play areas, babysitting services, even kid-friendly menus for in-room dining.
As a parent, those little details make a huge difference.
Right. No more cramming everyone into a single hotel room and hoping for the best.
Exactly. So we've got luxury with K11 Artists, heart of it all convenience with gateway apartments, and family-friendly bliss at Rosewood Residence.
It's like they've got a perfect match for every type of traveler in Tsim Sha Tsui.
It really seems that way.
But I guess the question is, why choose a service department at all? What makes them a better option than, say, a traditional hotel?
Well, besides the space, which we've already talked about, there's also the freedom and flexibility. You can cook your own meals if you want, do your laundry, basically live like you're at home.
Which is especially appealing for longer stays, right?
Exactly. You're not living out of a suitcase.
Makes sense. But what about those who are just popping in for a few days?
Okay, good point.
Would you still recommend a service department for a short trip? Or would a hotel be a better choice?
Hmm, that's a good question. I mean, hotels definitely have their place, especially for short stays where you need that flexibility.
Right, like if you're just passing through.
Exactly. But even for a quick trip, a service department can offer a level of comfort and convenience that a hotel just can't match.
I see what you mean, like having your own space to relax in.
Exactly. Imagine coming back from a day of sightseeing and being able to unwind in your own living room, maybe whim up a quick meal in your own kitchen.
Instead of being cramped in a tiny hotel room.
Exactly. It's about having that little bit of extra space to breathe, even if you're only there for a few days.
And let's not forget about the cost savings.
Oh,
Service departments can actually become more cost-effective the longer you stay.
that's true. And you can save even more by cooking some of your own meals.
Exactly. No more overpriced hotel minibars or those ridiculous breakfast buffets.
Haha, I hear you on that.
I once paid like $10 for a bag of peanuts from a hotel minibar. Never again.
Oh, I've been there.
But, okay, we've talked about hotels.
Right.
But what about the other big player in the accommodation game? Airbnbs.
Ah, yes, Airbnbs.
They've become so popular in recent years, so how do service departments stack up against them?
That's a great question. I think one of the biggest advantages of service departments over Airbnbs is consistency.
Okay, I'm listening.
With a service department, you know what you're getting in terms of quality and amenities.
Right, like that clean, well-maintained, hotel-like experience.
Exactly. They're typically managed by professional companies, so you can expect that level of service.
While with Airbnbs, it can be a bit more hit or miss.
Yes, sometimes you get lucky and find an amazing place with a fantastic host.
Right.
But other times, it can be a bit more unpredictable, and you might not have the same level of support if something goes wrong.
That's true. And that peace of mind can be really valuable, especially when you're traveling to a new city or country.
Absolutely.
So it seems like service departments offer a really compelling combination of benefits.
They do.
You get the space and comfort of an apartment, the consistency and service of a hotel, and often at a more competitive price than both.
It's a winning combination for sure.
But let's bring it back to Tsim Sha Tsui for a moment.
Okay.
We've talked about the allure of this vibrant district.
Right. The energy, the culture, the food.
Everything. But why choose Tsim Sha Tsui specifically for your Hong Kong adventure?
Yeah.
What makes it stand out from other areas of the city?
Well, for starters, it's incredibly well connected.
Right, we talked about the MTR and the Star Ferry.
Exactly. You can easily get to other parts of Hong Kong from Tsim Sha Tsui.
So it's a great base for exploring the entire city.
It is. And within Tsim Sha Tsui itself, you've got everything you could possibly want.
Like what?
Museums, art galleries, historic landmarks, bustling markets, rooftop bars, Michelin-starred restaurants. You name it, Tsim Sha Tsui has it.
Wow, it sounds like a sensory overload in the best possible way.
It really is. It's a place that's constantly buzzing with energy and excitement.
I love that. So to sum it up,
Yeah.
Tsim Sha Tsui offers this incredible blend of culture, history, modernity, and just pure excitement.
It does.
And service departments provide the perfect home base to experience it all.
I couldn't agree more.
So what kind of Tsim Sha Tsui experience are you envisioning for yourself? What's calling your name?
That's a tough one. There's so many possibilities. But I think I'd have to say the food scene is calling me the loudest right now.
Yeah, I hear that. There's dim sum restaurants and street food stalls.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm already dreaming of all the delicious things I'm going to eat.
Me too.
Yeah.
And imagine ending the day with a cocktail at a rooftop bar overlooking the harbor.
Now you're talking. Okay, I think we need to start planning this trip ASAP.
Agreed. But before we get too carried away with our Tsim Sha Tsui daydreams, let's talk about the practicalities of booking a service department.
All right, good idea.
What are some key things to keep in mind when making your reservation?
Well, one of the first things to consider is lease terms and conditions.
Okay, like minimum stay requirements and stuff like that.
Exactly. Most service departments have a minimum stay, often around a month.
So shorter stays might be possible, but they could be more expensive.
Right, so pay close attention to the lease duration, deposit requirements, and cancellation policies.
Don't be afraid to ask questions if anything is unclear.
Exactly. Transparency is key.
And while we're on the topic practicalities, let's talk about budget.
Ah, yes, the budget.
Service departments can range in price from budget-friendly to ultra-luxurious.
They really can.
So are there any tips for finding the best deals or getting the most value for your money?
Absolutely. Keep an eye out for seasonal offers or early bird discounts. Sometimes booking directly through the apartment's website can get you a better rate than going through third-party sites.
Oh, that's a good tip.
And if you're traveling with a group or planning a longer stay, don't be afraid to negotiate.
Oh, good point. A lot of people forget about that.
Many serviced apartment providers are willing to offer discounts for extended stays or multiple bookings.
So it never hurts to ask.
Exactly. It's all about maximizing those travel benefits.
And speaking of maximizing benefits, let's talk about amenities.
Okay.
Service apartments often come with a whole host of perks.
Oh, yeah. Swimming pools, gyms, laundry facilities, 24-hour concierge service, the works.
It's like a hotel, but better. So what are some must-have amenities to look for when booking a serviced apartment in Tsim Sha Tsui?
Well, I think it really depends on your individual needs and preferences.
Of course.
If you're a fitness enthusiast, a gym and swimming pool might be top priorities.
Right.
If you're traveling with kids, a play area or babysitting services could be invaluable. And if you value convenience, laundry facilities and 24-hour concierge service might be essential.
So it's all about figuring out what's important to you.
Exactly. And the good news is that many serviced apartments in Tsim Sha Tsui offer a wide range of amenities.
So you're likely to find something that suits your needs.
Exactly.
That's great to hear. And what about location?
Then you've got Knutsford Terrace.
Knutsford Terrace.
This is pedestrian-only street that's lined with bars, restaurants, and clubs.
Sounds lively.
It is. It's a popular nightlife destination, so if you're looking for a more energetic atmosphere, that's the place to be.
I like it. And what about something a little more, down to earth?
Okay, for that, I'd recommend Jordan.
Jordan, okay.
This neighborhood is known for its authentic Cantonese cuisine, bustling street markets, and budget-friendly accommodation options.
Oh, so you can get a real taste of local life there.
Exactly. It's a great choice if you're looking for a more authentic and less touristy experience.
I love that. So it sounds like Tsim Sha Tsui has a neighborhood to suit every taste and budget.
It really does.
But before we wrap up this deep dive into Tsim Sha Tsui serviced apartments, I have one final question for you.
Okay, shoot.
What's the one thing you'd like our listener to take away from this exploration? What's the key message you want to leave them with?
I think the key takeaway is that Tsim Sha Tsui is a truly unique and unforgettable destination.
Agreed.
It's a vibrant blend of cultures, a foodie's paradise, a shopper's dream.
It's got it all.
It does. And serviced apartments offer the perfect home base to explore it all.
They really do.
Whether you're looking for luxury, convenience, family-friendly amenities, or budget-friendly options, there's a serviced apartment in Tsim Sha Tsui that's perfect for you.
So don't just dream about it.
No.
Start planning your Tsim Sha Tsui adventure today.
Your Tsim Sha Tsui adventure awaits. So we've talked about these different neighborhoods, and they all sound pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm loving the variety.
But what's really great is that no matter where you choose to stay in Tsim Sha Tsui, you're never really far from the action.
That's a good point.
Everything is relatively close together.
Yeah, it's a very walkable district.
Exactly.
And speaking of things to do, I read in this guide that the Avenue of Stars is a must-visit.
Oh, yeah, the Avenue of Stars, classic.
They actually redesigned it a few years back, and it sounds even more impressive now.
What's cool is that it's not just about the stars themselves.
Right.
They've added all these interactive elements and digital installations.
Oh, wow.
So you can really learn about the history of Hong Kong cinema.
Oh, I love that.
It's a really fun and engaging way to experience the legacy of their film industry.
And it's right on the waterfront, so you get those incredible harbor views as a bonus.
Exactly. It's the perfect spot for a stroll.
I'm picturing myself right now, strolling along the Avenue of Stars at sunset, snapping photos with the Bruce Lee statue.
Oh, the Bruce Lee statue. That's a classic.
I gotta get a selfie with that.
You have to.
But okay, while we're on the topic of things to see and do, what about the Hong Kong Space Museum?
Oh, yeah, the Space Museum. That's a good one.
It's right next to the Avenue of Stars, right?
Yes, it is.
So you can kind of knock them both out in one go.
Exactly. Make a day of it.
You know me, always up for a little space exploration.
Always up for learning something new.
Exactly.
Well, they've got some really fascinating exhibits there on space exploration and astronomy.
Okay, I'm sold. But let's be real. I'm probably more likely to be found exploring the shops and markets.
Uh-huh. Fair enough.
So what's the scoop on shopping in Tsim Sha Tsui? What are we working with here?
Oh, get ready to shop till you drop.
Okay, I'm listening.
Tsim Sha Tsui is a shopper's paradise, I'm telling you.
Lay it on me.
You've got everything from high-end designer boutiques to bargain finds at street markets.
Okay, stop right there. High-end boutiques. Street markets. It sounds like the best of both
It
worlds.
is.
Give me some specifics.
All right, so for those designer labels, you got to check out Harbor City.
Harbor City, all right.
It's one of the largest shopping malls in all of Hong Kong.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously, it's massive.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Over 450 shops, 70 restaurants, and even 3 hotels.
You could get lost in there for days.
Easily. But then, on the other end of the spectrum, you've got the Temple Street Night Market.
Oh yeah, the night market. I've heard about this.
It's an experience, that's for sure.
So what's it like?
It's basically this bustling street market that comes alive after dark.
Oh, I love a good night market.
You've got everything there. Clothes, souvenirs, electronics, jade jewelry, you name it.
It sounds like a sensory overload.
It is, but in a good way, of course.
And I bet you can get some amazing deals there.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Haggling is expected, so don't be afraid to negotiate with the vendors.
All right, noted. I'm always up for a good haggle.
It's part of the fun.
So we've got luxury shopping at Harbor City and bargain hunting at the Temple Street Night Market.
Exactly. Something for everyone.
I love it. But after all that shopping, I'm going to need some serious sustenance.
Of course.
So tell me, what's the food scene like in Tsim Sha Tsui?
Prepare yourself for a culinary adventure.
Okay, hit me.
Tsim Sha Tsui is a melting pot of flavors.
Oh, okay. I like where this is going.
You can find everything from Michelin-starred dim sum restaurants to those local cha-chan tangs we talked about.
Oh, yeah, the Hong Kong diners.
Exactly.
So if I'm craving some authentic Hong Kong cuisine, a cha-chan tang is the place to go.
Absolutely. They're a great way to experience the local food culture without breaking the bank.
Perfect. But what about something a little fancier?
Oh, Tsim Sha Tsui's got you covered there, too.
Like what?
Well, this guide specifically mentions hutong.
Hutong, okay.
They serve northern Chinese cuisine, and apparently the harbor views from the restaurant are breathtaking.
I'm sensing a theme here with the views.
Uh-huh. Well, Tsim Sha Tsui does have a pretty amazing location.
That's true. Okay, hutong is officially on my must-try list.
You won't regret it.
But hold on, we can't forget about dessert.
Oh, right.
Gotta satisfy that sweet.
Absolutely. Tsim Sha Tsui is a dessert lover's dream.
Okay, tell me more.
You can find everything from traditional Chinese sweets like egg waffles and mango pudding to international favorites like gelato and macarons.
Oh, I'm drooling already.
This guide specifically mentions a place called Adi's Foodies.
Adi's Foodies, what's that all about?
They specialize in eguettes, which are these Hong Kong-style egg waffles.
Egg waffles, yum!
But they've taken it to a whole new level, creating these elaborate and colorful creations that are almost too pretty to eat.
Almost.
They're definitely Instagram-worthy.
Oh, I believe it. Okay, so we've covered shopping, dining, and even dessert.
We're on a roll.
But what about when the sun goes down? What does Tsim Sha Tsui have to offer in terms of nightlife?
Oh, get ready to experience the city that never sleeps.
I like the sound of that.
Tsim Sha Tsui is known for its vibrant nightlife scene.
Okay, lay it on me. What kind of nightlife are we talking about?
You can find everything from swanky rooftop bars with stunning skyline views to lively pubs and clubs playing everything from jazz to EDM.
Wow, there's something for everyone, it seems.
There really is. This guide highlights a few places that sound pretty cool.
All right, I'm all ears.
So first up, we have Ozone.
Ozone, okay.
It's located on the 118th floor of the Ritz-Carlton, Hong Kong.
118th floor.
Yeah, it claims to be the highest bar in the world.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
I know. Apparently, the views from up there are just insane.
All right, Ozone is definitely on the list.
Definitely. But then, for something a little more laid back, there's Ned Kelly's Last Stand.
Ned Kelly's Last Stand, okay.
It's this legendary jazz bar that's been a Tsim Sha Tsui institution for over 50 years.
Wow, that's impressive.
They have live music every night, and it's supposed to have a really great atmosphere.
I love live music, so that sounds right up my alley.
It's classic.
And if I'm in the mood to dance...
If you want to dance, you got to check out Volar.
Volar.
It's one of the most popular clubs in Hong Kong,
Oh, wow.
known for its cutting-edge music and stylish crowd.
Sounds like my kind of place.
It's a good time.
Okay, so we've covered the highlights of Tsim Sha Tsui.
From shopping and dining to nightlife, we've done it all.
It's clear that this district has something to offer everyone.
It really does.
But let's get back to the reason we're here. Service departments.
Okay.
We've talked about their advantages, but what are some key things to keep in mind when actually booking one in Tsim Sha Tsui?
Well, one of the most important things to consider is location.
Location, 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 right?
Exactly.
So how do you choose the right location in Tsim Sha Tsui?
Well, think about what kind of vibe you're looking for.
Okay.
Do you want to be in the heart of the action, close to all the shops and restaurants? Or would you prefer something a little quieter, maybe with easy access to public transportation?
It's about knowing your priorities.
Exactly. Once you've got a sense of your preferred area, then you can start looking at specific service department options.
Makes sense. And speaking of specific options, there are a lot of service departments to choose from in Tsim Sha Tsui.
There are?
What are some tips for narrowing down the choices and finding the perfect apartment for your needs?
All right, here are a few things to consider.
Hit me.
First, think about your budget.
Budget, of course.
Service departments can range in price from budget-friendly to ultra-luxurious.
Right. Got to set those limits.
Exactly. Then consider the size and layout.
Size and layout. Okay.
How much space do you need? Are you traveling solo as a couple or with a family? Do you need a studio apartment, a one-bedroom, or something larger?
It all depends on your needs.
Exactly. And then, of course, think about amenities.
Amenities, right. Those can make or break a stay.
Absolutely. Do you need a gym, a swimming pool, laundry facilities, 24-hour concierge service? Make a list of your must-haves and nice-to-haves.
Great advice. And then I imagine reading reviews is always a good idea.
Oh, absolutely. Read reviews from previous guests to get a sense of the apartment's cleanliness, comfort, and overall experience.
Sites like TripAdvisor and Booking.com are gold mines for that.
They are.
Okay, so once you've found a few service departments that meet your criteria, what's the best way to actually book your stay?
Well, you have a few options.
Okay, tell me more.
You can book directly with the property.
Okay,
Often you can get the best rates that way.
good to know.
Or you can go through a travel agent.
Right, if you prefer to have someone else handle the details.
Exactly. And then, of course, there are always the online booking platforms.
Like Booking.com, Expedia, Agoda, those guys.
Exactly. They all have a good selection of service departments in Tsim Sha Tsui.
So plenty of options to choose from.
It's all about finding the method that works best for you.
Exactly. But let's be real, sometimes things don't always go according to plan when you're traveling.
That's true.
What are some tips for ensuring a smooth and hassle-free stay in your service department?
All right, here are a few things to keep in mind.
I'm all ears.
First, communication is key.
Communication. Okay.
If you have any special requests or requirements, be sure to communicate them to the property management team in advance.
Like if you need an extra bed or a late check-in.
Exactly. Or even if you just want some local recommendations.
Right. They're there to help.
They are. And then, of course, always read the fine print before you book.
Ah, yes, the fine print. Always important.
Make sure you understand the terms and conditions, especially the cancellation policy and any potential fees.
Don't want any surprises there.
Definitely not. And then, of course, pack smart.
Pack smart. Okay.
Service departments usually come equipped with basic amenities like towels, linens, and kitchenware.
Right.
But you might want to bring some essentials from home, like toiletries, snacks, or any special items you need.
Makes sense.
And then just, be respectful of the property.
Of course, treat it like your own home.
Exactly. Keep it clean and tidy, and report any damages or issues to the property management team promptly.
Common courtesy.
Exactly. And most importantly, enjoy your stay.
Yes. That's what it's all about.
Explore the vibrant neighborhood, indulge in the delicious food, and create memories that will last a lifetime.
Well said. Those are all great tips.
Hopefully they help.
I think they will. It's those little details that can really make a difference when you're traveling.
Absolutely.
Having a comfortable and well-equipped service department can really enhance your overall experience.
It's like having a home away from home.
But with all the perks of being in a new and exciting city. And speaking of perks, let's talk about the unique advantages of staying in a service department versus a traditional hotel.
Okay.
We touched on this earlier, but I think it's worth revisiting.
Sure. What do you want to focus on?
Well, what are some key benefits that service departments offer, especially for travelers who are looking for more than just a place to sleep?
Well, I think one of the biggest advantages is space.
Space. Yeah, we talked about that.
You often have separate living areas, kitchens, and even laundry facilities.
Which can be a game changer, especially for families or anyone planning a longer stay.
Absolutely. That extra space gives you so much more freedom and flexibility.
You can spread out, relax, and really make yourself at home.
Exactly. And having a kitchen allows you to cook your own meals.
Which can save you a lot of money, especially in a city like Hong Kong where dining out can get expensive.
Especially in a city like Hong Kong.
And sometimes you just don't want to eat out every single meal.
Totally. Sometimes you just want to relax and have a quiet night in.
Exactly. But it's not just about the space in the kitchen.
Right.
Service departments also often come with a range of amenities that you wouldn't typically find in a hotel room.
Like what?
Like gyms, swimming pools, sometimes even business centers.
Oh, yeah. Those could be really nice to have.
Especially if you're on a longer trip and want to maintain your routine.
Exactly. And don't forget about the personalized service that many service departments offer.
Oh, right. The personalized service.
You often have a dedicated team on hand to assist with everything.
Like what kind of things?
Oh, booking tours, arranging transportation,
Mm.
providing local recommendations, resolving any issues that may
It's
arise.
like having a personal concierge.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
can really make your trips smoother and more enjoyable.
I can see that. But let's switch gears for a moment and talk about Airbnbs again.
Okay.
We touched on this earlier, but I think it's worth delving into a bit deeper.
All right. What do you want to talk about?
Well, what are some key considerations for travelers who are trying to decide between serviced apartments and Airbnbs? What are the pros and cons of each?
Okay, so one of the biggest advantages of serviced apartments over Airbnbs is consistency.
We talked about that, right? The consistency of quality and service.
Exactly. With a serviced apartment, you know what you're getting.
Right. It's that peace of mind.
Exactly. They're typically managed by professional companies, so there's a certain level of standardization and reliability that you can expect.
Which can be really reassuring, especially if you're traveling to a new destination.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't want any unpleasant surprises when you're on vacation.
Exactly. But Airbnbs do have their own unique appeal.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They often offer more unique and quirky accommodations, and you can sometimes find great deals, especially for longer stays.
You can find some truly amazing properties on Airbnb,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
like cozy apartments in historic buildings or luxurious villas with private pools.
And the ability to connect with local hosts can be a real bonus.
Oh, definitely. That's a big one.
They can provide insider tips and recommendations that you wouldn't get from a hotel or service department.
That local knowledge can be invaluable.
It really can. But I think it ultimately comes down to your individual preferences and priorities.
It does.
If you value consistency, reliability, and a certain level of service, a serviced apartment is probably a better bet.
Right.
But if you're more adventurous and willing to embrace the unknown, an Airbnb might be right up your alley.
Exactly. It depends on your travel style.
And don't forget about location.
Oh, right. Location's always key,
Airbnbs are often located in residential neighborhoods.
which can give you more authentic local experience.
Right, but they might be further away from the main attractions.
Exactly. Serviced apartments, on the other hand, tend to be located in more central areas.
Close to transportation hubs, shops, and restaurants.
Exactly. So it's really about weighing the pros and cons of each option and deciding what's most important to you.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Hopefully it helps.
I think it will. But let's bring it back to Tsim Sha Tsui one last time.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We've explored the highlights of this vibrant district and the unique appeal of serviced apartments.
All the good stuff.
So what's the one thing you'd like our listener to take away from this conversation? What's the key takeaway?
I think the key takeaway is that Tsim Sha Tsui offers an incredible blend of culture, history, modernity, and excitement.
Agreed.
It's a place where you can experience the best of Hong Kong.
It really does seem like the perfect microcosm of the city.
It does. And serviced apartments provide the perfect home base to explore it all,
They really do.
offering a comfortable and convenient alternative to traditional hotels and a more consistent and reliable option than Airbnbs.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
So if you're looking for an unforgettable Hong Kong experience, Tsim Sha Tsui should definitely be at the top of your list.
It's a must visit.
And when it comes to choosing your accommodation, consider the unique benefits of a serviced apartment.
It might just be the perfect way to enhance your stay and create memories that will last a lifetime.
Absolutely.
I'm so ready to book this trip. But before we completely wrap up, I'm curious, is there anything about Tsim Sha Tsui that you think people might, I don't know, underestimate?
Well, that's an interesting thought. I think a lot of people, when they think of Hong Kong, they picture like a super modern, futuristic city.
Yeah, all skyscrapers and neon lights.
Right, exactly. And while that's certainly true in parts of Hong Kong,
Mm-hmm.
I think Tsim Sha Tsui actually has this incredible layer of history that sometimes gets overlooked.
Okay, yeah, I see that. We talked about Hutong and that whole blend of old and new.
Exactly.
But are there other examples that come to mind, like specific places with historical significance?
Oh, absolutely. Kowloon Park, for instance.
Kowloon Park, okay.
It's this amazing green space, like a little oasis right in the middle of the city.
A little escape from the hustle and bustle.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that within the park, you'll find the remains of a 19th century British military fort.
Wait, seriously, I had no idea.
Yeah. You can actually walk among the old cannons and barracks.
Wow. That's incredible.
It's such a cool contrast. You've got these historical remnants right next to these towering skyscrapers.
It's like that clash of old and new that we were talking about before.
Exactly. And it's not just Kowloon Park. You know,
Oh, there's more.
Tsim Sha Tsui is full of these little hidden gems, these pockets of history tucked away amidst the modernity.
Okay, like, give me some examples.
Well, you could be wandering down a random side street
Hmm.
and you might stumble upon a traditional herbal tea shop that's been there for generations.
Oh, I love those.
Or you might find a tiny temple tucked away between skyscrapers.
It's like you're stepping back in time.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Tsim Sha Tsui so captivating.
You never know what you're going to find around the next corner.
Exactly. There's this constant sense of discovery.
I love it. So, as we wrap up our deep dive into Tsim Sha Tsui service departments,
What final thought would you leave our listener with?
I think it's that Tsim Sha Tsui really offers something for everyone. Whether you're a history buff, a foodie, a shopaholic, or just someone who loves to experience a new city, you're going to find something there that resonates with you.
I agree. And with so many amazing service department options.
It's like the perfect home base to explore it all.
Exactly.
So, to our listeners out there,
Don't just dream about it.
book that trip
Pack your bags.
and get ready to experience Tsim Sha Tsui for yourself.
Your Tsim Sha Tsui adventure awaits.